My favorite safety razor for the past 2 years has been the Blackland Blackbird Titanium. Great razor, a little bit pricey, but an excellent performer. Well, today we're going to talk about something that might be a little bit closer to your budget, to most people's budgets, and that is the original stainless steel Blackland Blackbird. We're going to compare it with my experience with the Titanium and take you through a shave with it. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. I'm John, aka Latherhog, and if you're looking for videos covering the world of traditional shaving, safety razors, brushes, soaps, and whatnot, then you've come to the right place. First off, I want to give a shout out that the base plate, the original Blackbird base plate, comes courtesy of Brian from the Wet Shave Experience. Brian, thank you so much for lending me this razor and allowing this comparison to happen. Guys, Brian is also a fellow wet shaving YouTuber, so please be sure to check out his channel. I've left the link down in the description below. So my journey with the Blackbird is a little bit backwards. I started at the tippy top with the titanium version. All I knew going in initially was that Blackland razors tended to be more aggressive. They had more blade feel, they tended to have more efficiency, and that's kind of across the board. So one big question I want to answer in today's video is just how different is the experience of the stainless steel version to the titanium? Or conversely, will the stainless steel give me a close enough experience to the titanium version? But before we get into the shave, let me show you real quick what other items we're going to use in today's shave. First up for my brush today is one from Lancaster Razor Works. Here is the Black Pearl with a 26mm G5C synthetic knot. Absolutely beautiful brush from Lancaster Razor Works. Andre does great work, and you probably know him from his shave towels, which he does in a number of colors, really soft to the face. Kind of kicked off a real trend there just 2 or 3 years ago. You can find them from other artisans and vendors nowadays, but Lancaster, one of the earliest ones. And this beautiful brush, also from him. And for my soap and splash today is a new one. This is my first shave with said software. It is from Ariana and Evans Siam. Siam is in the vegan VR1 base, which I've used prior. Absolutely wonderful base. This scent in particular though comes as a recommendation from One Pass Bilu, someone I love collaborating with and chatting with, also a fellow fan of tea scents and fragrances in general. And it's a good one, just off the tub. It smells great, very, very appropriate for the season. I'm recording this in April 2023. Spring is in the air. Actually, it's quite warm, almost summerish at this point in time. But this comes at a really good time as far as being complementary to the season. Also, in terms of beard growth, I'm working on about 4, maybe 5 days worth of beard growth, and we'll be taking that down in just a sec. Let's get to it. Alright, so let me share with you the official scent notes on Siam. We've got mandarin, lemongrass, ylang ylang, green tea, black tea, orchid, lotus, bamboo, Thai vetiver, sandalwood, and musk. Now I think really good tea and coffee scents for that matter are kind of hard to do. In terms of the coffee scents, they usually tend to be kind of the very creamy, sugary coffees. Dessert-like, almost like a coffee ice cream. I think that's probably just easier to pull off than like a black coffee bean or black coffee. Same thing with tea, although tea is a much softer scent in general. I think it's a much more subtle affair too. Quite often you'll find citrus in the mix, maybe some woods and florals. That's no different here, but I think what we have as far as that citrus tea blend, it's really nice. The closest comparison I would say is Eau de Te from Katie's Bubbles, which is another really nice scent. Although I will say that this one leans maybe a little more floral and a little more green. That bamboo, the lotus, and the orchid kind of really leans into that spring vibe that I was talking about before, very lively. And that Thai vetiver, sandalwood, and musk gives it a great base and presence, I want to say, because even though it tends to be a softer scent, this one medium to medium strong scent strength. Some other great tea scents for those curious. London from A&D is also a really nice tea type scent, as well as my favorite scent from 2022, Musashi from Gentleman's Nod. And also a note on this VR1 vegan base. It is lovely. It is really easy to work with. It's not overly thirsty, but you can hit it with water to kind of dial in just right. It's just a great example of how vegan bases and tallow bases, you can find excellent performers for each. All right, so we talked about the software. Here's my results. But let's get to the main star of today's video, and that is the Blackland Blackbird Stainless Steel. And we'll get into some of the specs, like the weight and really like the comparisons and my experience with it. We'll start off with the audio feedback so you guys can hear the razor before going to my impressions and comparisons and all that good stuff. But we are using a Gillette Nasset blade for today's shave. It might be like the third use or so. I don't keep close count, but let's have at it. So that's some nice audio feedback, I have to say. Maybe kind of like we do with the scent strength, I would say that's about medium as far as audio feedback goes. Yeah, even here in the mustache area. Nice. So for those of you who like audio feedback, the Blackland Blackbird certainly has it. So to talk a little bit more about this razor, some of this might be redundant if you see me talk about the titanium, because the actual aesthetics of the razor are the same. I absolutely love this Blackbird handle. I know it's not for everyone, but it's not slippery. A lot of people ask me, how's the grip on it? It's absolutely fine. Not slippery at all. Makes it a very sharply designed modern razor. So I really like that aspect. A big thing is the weight of the razor, though, as far as starting to talk about comparisons. So the stainless steel version of the Blackbird comes in at 94 grams, while the titanium version is almost half that at 54 grams. And that is one of the big differences between the razors. If anything, I would say that's the main difference between the two razors. It's the weight and the feel in the hand. But as far as like blade feel of the razor head, efficiency, I didn't quite know what to expect. And I was pleasantly surprised that it's pretty much the same as the titanium. The overall feel, the blade feel, the efficiency, that is no different. I will say though, because from using the titanium first, I do go with a lighter touch and really enjoy that. I think if you put more pressure on, in addition to the razor's own weight, I could see where some people might find the experience maybe a little too scrapey, a little too much blade feel. But having used both guys, the blade feel is the same. The efficiency is the same between the stainless steel and titanium. We'll go more into that in just a little bit, but let me rinse off and get ready for the second pass. Before I forget, I did also want you to hear the audio feedback for the against the grain pass, given that's usually much greater than with the grain pass. So let's do that first. So yeah, that's pretty loud for against the grain. So maybe that's a medium or a high as far as audio feedback goes. But to pick up on my point where I left off in the first pass, if they shave the same, or rather, if the blade feel and the efficiency is the same, then why would you go with the more pricey titanium over the stainless steel? And I do want to address that. There's something about the weight, guys. I'm not sure the physics of it exactly and what's happening, but when you use the lighter razor, I don't feel that I am digging in more. If anything, it helps remind me to keep with a light touch or a moderate touch. Either way, I'm not pressing into the skin, but in using both of the razors and having the opportunity to kind of compare them off camera, side by side, I still prefer the experience of the titanium. However, I want to address probably the very real concern, or pondering. What if the titanium's outside of your budget? Will the stainless steel get you there? And I want to say yes. I always encourage people to spend within their means. Don't go into debt in terms of shave stuff, hobby stuff. It's not worth it. They're not really, for the most part, other than like 1% of shave gear, nothing is accumulating in value. So it's a bad investment, is what I'm saying. For your own personal enjoyment though, that's fine. Clearly, if you swap the handle for something lighter, whether it be a different material or my personal test was using the semi-hollow charcoal goods handle, which brought the razor, I think I didn't weigh it, but not as light as the titanium, clearly, but it probably put it in around like 70 to 80 grams. It lightened it up a bit. And I would say the balance and stuff can get a little different as you change handles out, especially with a heavier stainless steel head. And this is a very solid head, mind you. Not super chunky, but if you throw something like an aluminum handle on here, you might have balance issues. It's going to be a little trial and error, but either way, if you're able to lighten up the razor, whether it's a smaller razor handle or something else, and you pair it with the Blackbird head, I think you can really mimic the experience of the titanium. And I think that's good news. In some ways, I thought there were going to be night and day experiences between the stainless steel and titanium before going into this experiment. And I'm quite pleased that that's really not the case. They are similar, but there is some magic going on with the weight and balance of the titanium version. All right, so really solid shave today. I did do just a quick cleanup pass, unrecorded, just to touch up some areas on the mustache, but let's finish things up with the Siam Aftershave Splash here. All right, as far as scent differences, it does come off a little differently. Again, soaps, soap bases, whatever the soap base is, tends to suppress some notes and enhance some notes. This one, I want to say the greenness, the herbaceousness, and what florals are in there. It's not an overly floral scent, but the florals that are here are a little stronger. I think the tea vibe and even the citrus kind of become more secondary in this case. I'm not getting two completely different scents or anything like that, just which are the stronger notes, especially kind of in the initial application. They're still definitely related, but still a scent I really like. I'm really glad to have tried this out. So thank you so much, Bilu, for the recommendation. I'm a big fan of Siam. And performance of this one, of course, excellent. So a great offering by A&D. And my closing thoughts on the stainless steel version of the Blackland Blackbird. I kind of pretty much summed it up in that both are great razors. The titanium is still absolutely worth trying if you can get your hands on it, if it's in your means. but I'm really glad to finally try the stainless steel. Really enjoyed the razor as well. And like I said, there are ways that you can kind of get it similar to that titanium experience by doing a little swap out with the handle. There's even other third-party or aftermarket titanium razor handles that you can find. But yeah, hopefully some of those tips will help you. I don't think I covered the basics as far. I did a lot of comparisons today, and that's how I will position this video. It's a comparison between the stainless steel and titanium. But in case those were wondering, blade feel on the Blackbird is moderate. It might even feel high for those who are used to more mild razors. And efficiency, I would say, is high. Oftentimes, I don't have to shave for easily another day or two before I start looking scruffy again. So I'm kind of good for the rest of the rest of this week. That combination of blade feel and efficiency is just the sweet spot, and that's coming from someone who, in general, prefers milder razors. Now, in case you guys have any questions that I didn't get to or address concerning the Blackbird, stainless steel, light version, or titanium, feel free to leave your question down below in the comments section. If you like what I'm doing here and want to help support the channel, you can either check out the affiliate links down below if you want to use them. If you make a purchase, I might make a small percentage off of that purchase. Another way is to check out the Patreon. We have a podcast, Lather Talk Podcast, as well as the videos on this channel. You can become a Patreon member. But there's a free way to help support the channel, and that's hitting the like button and hitting subscribe if you haven't done so already. This helps get my videos out there to other people who might be looking for similar content. But that's gonna do it for today. Guys, I wanna thank you so much for stopping by the channel, joining me for this shave today. I really do hope you found it helpful, and I hope I'll catch you in the next one. Take care.